So welcome to today's video, and we've got a... Oh, hang on. It's the boss. Hi, Mr. Base. Yeah, I caught the Liverpool game on the weekend. Yeah, it was another great win. Yeah. Actually, I'm just recording now, but... You want me to look at who? No, surely not. Look, anyone but them. Really? 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 Look, fine, but... Hello? Hello? Everton. Hello, I'm Josh, and I'm the face at FMBase bringing Wonderkids to this place. Now, anyone with even half an eye on the Premier League know that Everton are in a bit of a mess right now, with a record of poor managerial appointments, very unbalanced and tactically poor signings, as well as tremendously irresponsibly run finances. So much so that they're currently flirting with the relegation that could have detrimental impacts both on and off the pitch. But in the squad there are some shining lights, so today, not only are we going to save and rebuild Everton, but we're going to do it using the youth.
You can't win anything with kids.
Let's prove him wrong. So in a moment we will look at these shining lights I mentioned in this Everton squad, but first of all let me just take you through the plans for this save, and it's very simple, just to perform as well as we can with Everton and see just how high we can push the squad using the youth players that are already in the team. Now I will admit I have made two subtle changes. The first one being we have brought Moise Kean back from loan at Juventus and cancelled that future transfer, so he is going to be remaining at the club. And in the right back position we have brought in Livramento from Southampton. He's an exciting English young right back, currently playing at Southampton, but formerly one of the 752,000 youth players at Chelsea. But other than that, we're going to be using the players that are already there. However, we are going to be focusing on players 25 and under. The only allowance that we have made is for Jordan Pickford because of reasons. So after taking a look through the squad here, the first thing I've done is pick the formation off the trusty FMBase website, and we are going to be using the 4-1-3-2 FMT version. This is going to allow us to utilise two of the stronger players in the squad in Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean. Let me just take you into the squad and show you the players that we're going to be focusing on this save. So as you could have guessed and may have expected, the first player we're going to focus on is Moise Kean, who is currently a 5-star potential player with 3.5-star current ability. Next up, as I've mentioned, is Livramento, who, trust me, is a 5-star potential player with 2.5-star current ability. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the next player we're going to look at. He currently has a 4-star potential ability and 4-star current ability, but I'm sure he can develop and get better the more games he plays in the squad. At 24, Richarlison is another player we're going to be looking at, and another one much like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, exactly the same as Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He has 4-star potential ability and 4-star current ability. And the last player we're going to focus on is Anthony Gordon, as requested by Big Chungy26 in my Wonderkid introduction video. Anthony Gordon is currently a 4-star potential ability player on 3-star current ability. Nothing standard at this stage, but a fairly solid all-round player. So I've already shown you this tactic before, but let's just quickly go over the squad that we're going to be using. Jordan Pickford in goal, Livramento, Holgate, Branthwaite, Michaelenko makes up the back 5. Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean up front, Richarlison, Dele Alli and Anthony Gordon in the attacking midfield, and Donny van de Beek in the centre. I've left Donny van de Beek till last because of course he is on loan at Everton, so at the end of this season we won't be renewing his loan. We'll let him go. If there are any young players within the Everton squad we will bring them up. If not, we'll transfer in another Wonderkid into that position. We're all set up, I'm ready to go. Can we do it with Wonderkids? Sit back and watch the show. So we've now simulated 5 seasons with Everton, and hot dog, what an exciting time it was. Riveting stuff. So let's take a look at season 1. Now, the season preview I'll have Everton in 12th position. Were we able to beat that? Let's take a gander. Well, blow my nose and call me Susan. Everton finishing in 3rd place in the Champions League spot, but scoring, if you take a look over here, 113 goals. In the last episode with Arsenal, we set a goal scoring record. Another goal scoring record here set by Everton. 113. Unbelievable. Conceding 61. That's pretty high. Just what a performance. So if we take a look at some of the fixtures of note, you'll notice here 6-0 the first one against Chelsea. 4 goals for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and a 10 rating. Absolutely fantastic. Some other big victories: a 7-1 victory over Watford with Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring a hat-trick. 6-2 drubbing of Aston Villa. A 6-5 victory against Arsenal. What a game that must have been. And another high-scoring victory over Chelsea, this time 5-3. 5-1 against Leicester. 5-0 against Brighton. There's a lot of big scoring games here. And no surprise, if you take a look here, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was the top goal scorer with 34 goals. Absolutely fantastic. Joint second, Dele Alli with 27. Don't see that every day. If we take a look at the FA Cup, we got to the quarter-final where we were knocked out by Manchester City, given a bit of a drubbing there, and knocked out disappointingly in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. So if I just move out of the way for this one and disappear, you'll be able to see our best 11 and how we started most of the games this season. Everybody in the green, everybody above a 7.05. Absolutely fantastic performances all round. And 3 goal scorers over 20 goals. Absolutely fantastic. So before we move on, we'll just take a quick look at this screen and you'll notice we still haven't got any 5-star potential players. However, it's still early, we've still got time, and we're going to give the players a couple of more seasons of playing together, playing regularly, under my expert tutelage, to really see the benefit of their development. So we won't be checking those until the end, but let's move on to Season 2. Now we're back for Season 2, and if we take a look at the season preview, Everton is still predicted to finish 9th despite a very strong finish last season. Were we able to prove the media wrong? Let's take a gander. And hot dog! Hot dog, hot diggity dog! Winners of the Premiership in just the 2nd season. No transfers have been made. I'm using the youth players that are already at the club, and we've gone and won the Premier League. Now, if we take a look at the points total, 88. Not a fantastic year, I suppose, for the Premier League. But you can only beat what's in front of you. You can only do what you do, and it'll do what it'll do, and it'll does what it does. And we are the winners there. I mean, some standout fixtures from this season will be, for me, the 5-4 victory against Manchester United. 5-1 drubbing of Barcelona. Absolutely fantastic, that one. Flat track bullies beating Brentford 5-0. And another big one again, an 8-2 victory over Burnley, with Moise Kean scoring 5 goals and getting a 10 rating. So if we take a look at some of the other cup competitions, in the Carabao Cup we were knocked out in the quarter-final by Fulham, which is a little bit disheartening. Knocked out in the semi-final by Tottenham, which I'll take, I suppose. And in the Champions League, knocked out by Benfica in the first knockout round. And taking a look at the results here, quite handily defeated. That's a bit disappointing. Now if I once again get out of the way for this screen, you can see here the first difference is we've got Tom Davies in now instead of Donny van der Beek, who was obviously on loan, and he has gone back to Manchester United, where I imagine he's probably back on the bench. But I'll be honest with you, not as solid a performance as we had last season. However, everybody bar Tom Davies is in the greens, and everybody above a 7.05, again apart from Tom Davies. Dele Alli still chipping in with the goals, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean absolutely banging them in. But young Jared Braithwaite, who's a player that didn't stand out to me before, having a very good time with it with 5 goals and 6 assists. That is someone we'll have to take a look at the end of the save. Now, unlike the start of the game when we had 2 5-star potential players, we still don't have any. However, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison have both upped their game to go from a 4-star potential ability to 4.5 respectively. So obviously the amount that they've been playing and the way that they've been playing has really helped them develop. But let's see if it makes a difference for anybody else as we go into Season 3. So we're back for Season 3, and if we take a look at the season preview, we're still only predicted to finish 9th despite winning the Premier League last season and finishing 3rd the season before. We're only predicted 9th. I must be overperforming like a machine. But let's take a gander to see what happened. Well, if we take a look, the season of Liverpool certainly ran away with the league. with Liverpool themselves winning the Premier League by 97 points. A good 22 points clear of Everton in second place. Second place, I'll certainly take it, because again, we've made no signings. We are just using the players that Frank Lampard is unable to get playing at the moment. So second place is absolutely fantastic, and I'll take that all day long. But if we take a look at this screen here, you'll notice that Everton scored 92 goals, which again is fantastic. We're kicking around that 100 mark consistently at the moment, but we just lost too many. But how did we do in our second season in the Champions League? Hopefully, we got further than the first knockout round, and we got to the semi-final. Knocked out by Bayern Munich, which, you know, very respectable. We actually, if you take a look over here, we beat them in the first leg and must have gone out on away goals or penalties, depending what it is. I'm not going to take a look. And look at that. FA Cup winners. 5-0 drubbing of Leicester City. And we had to beat Liverpool and Arsenal to get there. So a really good showing and a domestic cup under our belt, which is fantastic. The runner-up in the Carabao Cup, I'll take it. And the Community Shield, I'm not Jose Mourinho, so I'm not concerned. So to look at this screen, I'll just get out of your way again. So if you take a look at the team here, everybody performed rather well except Tom Davis, but this time Dele Alli let us down a little bit. But saying that, he did still manage to produce 22 assists and 21 goals. Anthony Gordon really chipping in with the assists on 31, and Jared Braithwaite again chipping in with assists and goals. Fantastic. I can't wait to look at how he's developed at the end of this save. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 61 goals and 59 appearances with 12 assists. Moise Kean, 62 appearances, 23 assists and 27 goals. What a front two. And no surprise if we take a look at the squad here, Jared Braithwaite has now bumped himself up to a 5-star potential. Dominic Calvert-Lewin still on the 4.5, but Richarlison has dropped down a little bit. So there's been a lot of change here. I can't wait to take a look at this guy at the end of the save. I really hope he continues on the trajectory that he has been. Only one way to find out. We are now moving into Season 4. So here we are again taking a look at the season preview for Season 4, and we are still predicted to finish in 9th position. When are we going to get the respect we deserve? I don't know. But let's take a look if we warrant it this time. So no, we don't deserve anything more. 6th position, our worst finish of the save so far outside of the Champions League for the first season. 13 losses, not great at all. And if we take a look over here, some appalling games, and we just seem to have fallen apart at the end of the season. Imagine if we could have flipped around 2-3 of those results from heavy losses into wins. We would have been in the Champions League positions, and it would be a different end to the save. However, have we redeemed ourselves in Europe and maybe won the Champions League for what will be the last opportunity in this save? No, we didn't. Liverpool beat us comprehensively in both legs, but we got knocked out in the semi-final, which was very admirable. Second semi-final appearance for Everton. I'm sure, obviously, they'd snap your hand at that right now, so can't complain. Let's see if we get anything in the domestic cups. No. Yay! This time, this cup does count. And taking another look at the squad screen, there has been yet again another fluctuation in the potential ability of the players. Dominic Calvert-Lewin remains at 4.5 stars. Everyone else has dropped down. Jared Braithwaite has gone from 5 stars down to 4. So he's dropped a whole star of potential-wise, which is disappointing. Richarlison is still on 4-star. Again, last season to go now. We shall take a look at all these players in detail and compare them to when we started the save, when we review Season 5. Now let's take a look at Season 5. On the season preview, I would expect us to drop further down given our poor performance last season. However, if you take a look here, we've actually moved up from 9th to 8th. Well, strap me up and call me a rhinestone cowboy. We finished in 2nd place this season. Massive jump from last year. We lost 10 games, which is still a little bit heavy for my liking. But 2nd place, back in the Champions League. Liverpool run away with the league yet again, which is personally really quite nice to see. But finishing second, back in the Champions League, knowing we're getting that revenue back in, using purely the players that were there at the start of the game, that was a great performance. So our first season in the Europa Cup, let's see how we've done. Semi-final, that's not too bad. Knocked out by Real San Sebastian, quite tight games. I'll take that one. In the FA Cup, we were knocked out in the third round, not brilliant. Fourth round knockout in the Carabao Cup, so we've really dropped down in the domestic competitions this year. Now, before we go look fully at this screen, I will admit I did have to make some signings. We had a long-term injury to Anthony Gordon that knocked him out for a period of time. Some players got to the end of their contracts. I didn't notice and they disappeared and left us a little bit short, so I did have to bring some players in, which you will see in this screen now. So the first thing you'll notice here is Rooney Bargy. He is a wonder kid from Copenhagen, and I may do a video on him in the future because he is very talented, but playing mainly due to the injury to Anthony Gordon. Tom Davies, you'll notice, wasn't in here because, to be quite frank, he just wasn't performing very well, and again he also got injured, so I had to bring in Asta Ranchik. We'll go with Ranchik. Well, other than that, this is the team that you've seen throughout the entirety of the save. Everybody playing like a humdinger. Again, Dele Alli banging the goals in. Richarlison 15, so less than last time. Dominic Calvert-Lewin only 37. Moise Kean 23. But Jarrad Branthwaite, again, 11 goals. I really can't wait to see this guy. And now finally, here we are, the screen and the moment that you have all been waiting for. And we're going to take a look at the players that we were highlighted at the start of the save to where they are now. So let's make some comparisons and take me out of the picture so you can see these players. So if we take a look, to be honest with you, not a lot has really changed. So he hasn't developed massively as a striker. However, he was pretty good to start off with, and his performances show that he is certainly someone that would be worth a purchase. And with an estimated value of 71 to 77 million now, he might be worth trying to get in there early doors. The next player we were looking at was Livramento, and again, performances all above the 7s and assists in every season. Now, as you'll see here, there has been considerable improvements in his mentals. His physicals have got a bit better. His technicals, however, leave a little bit to be desired. They haven't really improved much. In fact, his crossing has got worse. But again, Livramento is only 23. He's still got a number of years left to develop. Certainly a player worth looking at, I'd say, at the start of the game. So next up is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who started at 4-star potential ability, crept up to 4.5, but then has dropped back down to 4 stars. If you look at his technical attributes, they've all sort of picked up a little bit. His finishing remains the same, but his first touch has improved and his technique is picked up as well, and he can now take better corners if that's something that you want from your striker. His mental attributes have picked up as well. Concentration has picked up, and his composure, which is fantastic as a striker. Physicals, he has improved there as well. He already started very strong, but his jumping reach has improved, which coupled with that 17 heading is fantastic. So changes all round to make him a very well-rounded striker. And with the value now at 29 of 78 to 94 million, he started the game at about 40. I'd recommend maybe picking him up early because he will not let you down. But the last but one, Richarlison, if we take a look at his physicals, he's had some improvement in his mentals. There have been a number of small increases on pretty much most things, but his technical attributes remain very much the same. So again, as with Moise Kean, he's not had massive changes. However, he is a good player and certainly worth a purchase, and if you use him right, can be very consistent. And as requested, we'll take a look at Anthony Gordon. But the first thing you'll notice is he's actually dropped from a 4-star potential ability player down to a 3, which is very disappointing because he's been playing consistently throughout this save. He's had some improvements in his physicals and his stamina and his strength. His mentals have improved a little on the anticipation, his composure. His penalty taken has lifted up from a 12 to a 14, but everything else remains pretty much as it is. I would say Anthony Gordon, although a good squad player, maybe not someone that you would want to reach out and purchase at the start of your save. But now, the one I've been waiting for. Jarrad Branthwaite, a player I've never heard of before doing this save. Over a 7 rating in every single season, scoring goals every season, getting assists every season, and if you recall in the season reviews, putting together all of his appearances in the cups, he was banging goals in for fun. So some great development here from Jarrad, a player that was a complete surprise to me. I didn't even know he was in the Everton squad, but what a great surprise to have. At the start of the game, you're looking at 15 to 23 million, but but at this point, just 5 seasons in, the 23-year-old is 58 to 78 million. I would highly recommend picking him up. He didn't let us down in any seasons, and he's performed fantastically. He's developed well. I can imagine there is still places to go for this player. Definitely one to consider picking up at the start of your next save. So there we have it at the end of the video. What an interesting save that was. I would highly recommend perhaps starting a save with Everton. There's the financial implications, the unbalanced squad, and those youth players like that Jared Brentwaite. Didn't even know he existed. That was, I know I've said it already about 50 times, but that was actually quite fun. As a Liverpool fan, I probably won't do it myself, but I would definitely say it's a challenge and a save worth picking up. And you can do it all with the kids. Well, I want to thank you massively for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video with all of your friends, and drop any comments that you have in the comment section down below. I'll endeavour to respond to everything. And you can find me at FMFO Official on Twitter or on Twitch. But remember, this is the place, it's FMBase. I'll see you next time.